So my name is Melissa Legowski. I am so delighted and honored to serve as the executive director for NAWBO Chicago, helping women business owners grow, thrive, and just continue to stand out in the business community is one of my favorite things to do. It is a huge passion of mine, and I am elated that I get to serve in this role. Um, I have been the executive director cumulatively for about 9 years. I had a short break in there, but I just love it. And so we are always here to assist you with anything you need. I've had interactions with many of you to help you get connected to the programs and the resources. Laura is also on this call and helping to kind of manage the back end. And Laura is also incredibly instrumental in all things NAWBO Chicago. So she's a great person for you to know as well, even though she's usually my silent partner. I also am a fellow business owner, and I think that that might be one of the reasons I am as passionate about this organization as I am. I started my business in 2004, which is Big Buzz Idea Group, and I came to NAWBO in 2010, and I wish I had found it sooner. It really was able to help me find a female community that just continued to share so openly and honestly, even about their failures. And I could not believe how much they were devoted to helping others succeed. And I just fell in love with it. And when I started, I love to kind of talk about my personal journey because I always joke I did everything wrong along the way. NAWBO helped me figure out how to do it right. It introduced me to programs. It helped me move on to a point where I actually did need capital and how to do that. And so it just has been this really great place to share, engage, learn. And I went from just trying to have a job that I liked when I originally started my company to now having a growing, thriving business with over 16 employees. So when I talk about NAWBO Chicago, I think it really works. I think when you show up, when you take advantage of all that's here, there's just something for everyone. And it is a phenomenal organization on so many levels. I like to take just a moment to talk about our corporate partners. We as an organization, NAWBO National has a baseline fee and they share a portion of the membership dues back to the chapter. But we go above and beyond and do so much more in Chicago than many of the other NAWBO chapters across the country. We are one of only two that has an executive director and a dedicated office here to support our team, which makes being a leader in this organization a lot easier than in some of the other places where they're doing it all. And so it is because of our corporate partners. It is because of their devotion, their sponsorships, their contributions that we really are able to keep our price points low. Chicago's not an inexpensive city. And so they host us, they sponsor us, they continue to show up for all of our women business owners in a multitude of ways. And I like to just take a moment to recognize them and ask that when you have an opportunity, please return the favor and support them. Miller Cooper has been our platinum partner for 3 years now. They have been a long-standing NAWBO sponsor and have grown through the years with us. BMO is our longest running partner. I think that they've been a partner when we traced it back probably for 25 years or more. And even through all the mergers and acquisitions, they continue to support us. The 10,000 Small Businesses Program, Merrill Lynch, and Old National Bank also are gold partners who invest a lot in us throughout the year in a multitude of ways, including our conference, but then like BMO's going to be hosting our summer social where I hope I will see you all in person. Our silver partners, ADP, if you need payroll assistance, Aetna, Better Health of Illinois has really shown up to support us and continuing to want to open the doors for more certified women business owners. Big Buzz Idea Group also contributes. Center for Creative Arts Therapy, Chase for Business, CIBC, Country Financial, Cumberland Irving, First Women's Bank, Triline Private Wealth, UB Greensfelder, and Yetter Tax. So again, these are companies, some are within our membership, others are just fabulous female business supporters. And if you ever know a company that would be a good fit, please let us know, as we are always looking to grow this list too. It allows us to do a lot more in our region. I'm excited to introduce to you the President Angie Knoll. She has just taken the helm in July 1. Immediate past president, Cheryl Vargas, she really was a dynamo in all the things that she did. She's very outgoing. She helped to boost our visibility significantly. And then our treasurer, Lynette DeRose from Supporting Strategies. And then we would be nothing without the additional board of directors. They help us lead our committees. They help us lead our charges, our masterminds, our regional events, the connects, and many other strategic decisions are made in the background. So Irene Kaminer of Kaminer Law, Lindsay Evans of Liberty Point Realty is new to the board this year. Letty Flores Poole from BMO has just joined the board this year. Annabelle Lopez from Cumberland Irving is in her second year of a 2-year term. Heather Polecaster is also in her second year of a 2-year term. Jeffrey Simon is, many refer to him as our NAWBO. He has been a longstanding supporter, and years ago when NAWBO was in a difficult situation, he is actually one of the people who helped make sure that the organization survived locally. So huge gratitude is owed to him and many other NAWBOs that we have along the way. Courtney Smith has just joined our board this year from Smith Legal Group, and Ebony Whitson from Whitson Wonder Productions. She has been active with us through our NAWBO Wisconsin affiliate, and I am super excited. She dove in head first and has been instrumental in so many ways, but NAWBO Wisconsin is about to break out into their own chapter, which I am really excited about as well. So what is the purpose of NAWBO Chicago? Our mission and vision is really to propel women entrepreneurs into economic, social, and political spheres of power worldwide. It seems like maybe that's happening. I continue to be a little bit amazed that this seems like a no-brainer. We shouldn't need to talk about this. It's 2024. But when we look back, NAWBO nationally is about to celebrate their 50th anniversary. And when they started back in 1975, they were not, they just did not have the liberties that we have now. Fast forward into 1988, which always astounds me. I was in college. I had just begun my adult life, but female business owners still did not have the right to sign for their own business loan that recently. In my mind, right, that was like back in the 60s, they should have been able to sign, but that wasn't the reality. And so through NAWBO, NAWBO started in 1975 when a group of like-minded women gathered around a kitchen table because they weren't being taken seriously by their male counterparts. Word started to spread and people started to hear about them. They had no intention of becoming a national organization, but lo and behold, the need was there. And so it was through joining forces across the country that in 1988, NAWBO really was active in Washington, D.C., and really made themselves heard in a way that H.R. 5050 was passed. In 1988, Lillian Little, her 17-year-old son could sign for her business loan, but she couldn't. You had to have a husband, a brother, an uncle, a dad. You had to have somebody who would sign for you, and that just outraged many of our members. So they marched on Capitol Hill, and through that, President Reagan then enacted H.R. 5050, which started to allow for female entrepreneurs to have so many rights that they did not previously have. Out of that came the National Women's Business Council, which I'm excited to report that our national CEO has just been named. She's been invited to join that. So we have a seat at one of the most important women's affiliated groups in Washington, and we actually have a seat at that table. That organization was born out of HR 5050. The certification program and the small business set-asides were born out of that program. Anybody who might know the WBDC was born out of that program. So we really continue to make our mark. The advocacy and helping to lift up female voices has been so important. And we continue to just elevate more female entrepreneurs in that way. We really are the voice of 12.3 million women-owned businesses. And that is one of the fastest growing segments of the business population. So super excited to be here. I think we get more done together. I see some folks on this call who were in Washington, D.C. for advocacy days, and it really was just a fabulous time and a way to continue to collaborate. And when we do join our voices, we grab attention. One of the things I love about NAWBO, and it's always, in my opinion, been worth all of the membership fees, is just the fact that we have a representative in Washington all the time working on our behalf. I've always valued it. Like I said, I've been a member since 2010, but it wasn't really until COVID when it became, I think, so evidently impactful in my personal life, because they were constantly taking pulse surveys and helping us find access to the PPP loans, helping us be able to get connected to the IDOL, and really continuing to help make sure that the politicians and the legislators knew what we were dealing with, how we were feeling, what we needed to get through that time. And it was really powerful. I saw our advocacy initiatives in a way I had never experienced before, and think it's worth every penny of this membership dues. Then I love also when we talk about NAWBO Chicago. I graduated college and I was used to all the mean girl concepts. That's not what NAWBO is about. NAWBO is a welcoming collective for female entrepreneurs to really be able to come together, join together, support one another on a deeper level. Membership in this organization, it's not about making the cash register ring, if you will. It is really about a different level of support. My best friend, when we do management, marketing, and event services, she only can get her head around the fact that I do marketing. She does not understand what it's like to be a business owner. She doesn't understand that I don't just clock out at 5 o'clock every day the way she does. So it's really nice to have a group of women who just get it. We're all dealing with the similar things. We're all trying to balance our personal life with our business life and all of those other challenges. So this welcoming collective of support is just something that I think is amazing, and I'm so glad I found it, and I hope that you will be too. What we promise to our members is an engaging community that fosters connections, collaboration, advocacy, and inspiration. On any given day, you can have one of these, you can have all of these. But we really do try to find those meaningful connections for people. And over time, businesses here do business together, because you generally want to do business with people you know, like, and trust. And when I mentioned, right, I started out as a solopreneur, but when I came to NAWBO and I started meeting people, they were advocating for me. I started to feel like I had a mini sales force, which I really liked a whole bunch because I could only be in one place at a time. So I really do encourage you to take advantage of all we have to offer. Again, the organization does really stand from that concept of you have two hands, one to reach yourself constantly up and the other to constantly bring other women with you. So we hope that you will continue to spread the word about NAWBO and a lot of other places and invite women in your network to be here, because we do believe we are better together, and we do continue to believe that there is so much more we can do when we do collaborate. As I mentioned briefly, NAWBO is a national organization. I know that for a long time, I did not actually go to very many of the national events. I got everything I needed right here locally. I just didn't need to do that. And then over time, I have started to go to the national conferences. I went to the national advocacy days, and it is so amazing. Even during the pandemic, I think it brought the members of this organization together more, because when everything went online virtually in 2020, everybody was connected. There was no this chapter versus that chapter. It was all like kind of intertwined, and it was really a beautiful thing. I also have found that through the national opportunities, you can go into the directory, you can reach members in other cities who maybe do what you do, and you can share best practices. You can ask for pricing structures. I feel like you can ask questions of other people that might work with you. You can find strategic partners. One woman who was moving to another city, she was able to open up a second location for her business by connecting with NAWBO members in that other city. They helped her hit the ground running because they could introduce her to additional contacts and the things she needed. And it just worked out really well for her. So as I mentioned, nationally, they are always offering advocacy. They do have a national conference next year. I just saw the dates, and I think it's June 6th to June 9th. It might have been the 5th to the 9th, but it will be our 50th anniversary celebration. They are planning to pull advocacy days and our national conference together to make it one giant blowout. And so I do hope you'll mark your calendars and consider joining us there. Those who have gone to a national event, you just meet so many amazing women, and we really have a lot of fun just hanging out, even with women from our chapter on a more intimate level. They also have the NAWBO Institute, which you can log into for additional resources. That is the educational 501c3 arm of NAWBO. And they are always offering additional programming. They offer webinars. They have amazing discounts, which I will talk about more later in my presentation. And then they also have the Circle program for those business owners who are at the $1 million level and higher. We know that at different levels, women need different things. And so we do believe that that is a special program where they bring those women together to be able to interact and share on a different level so that they can continue to also navigate their business challenges more effectively. As I mentioned, we are super proud of NAWBO Wisconsin. I actually get kind of moved when I talk about it. Mary Balistreri is from Wisconsin. She joined NAWBO Chicago in 2020 and quickly wanted to bring what we had to Wisconsin because they did not have anything like this. And she has been able to recruit and to bring in so many more people. And so they have gotten to a size now where they're going to be able to split off as their own chapter, although they will still be very interconnected to Chicago, so that we can all always just continue to support each other. It makes a ton of sense because some of our members are right on the northern part of the border. Some of their members are on the southern part of the border. It gives us more people to do business with and to interact with. And I just couldn't be more proud and grateful that this organization has introduced me to so many amazing business owners in Wisconsin. Also, as we talk about NAWBO Wisconsin, the other thing that I will talk about a little bit more later, but also we have expanded into Northwest Indiana. And our past president, Edie Feineman, she moved from Chicago out to Valparaiso and wanted what we had there closer to home. And so she has been a real advocate in drawing other women in, and she and Tiffany Irving lead a group out that way too. So continuing to grow our presence into more of this Midwest region that I really think is valuable for everybody. But here in Chicago, so let's talk about what we do locally. And again, advocacy. We partner with the SBAC. We connect with 10,000 small businesses who also has a Voices program where they are dedicated to advocacy as well. We are constantly trying to, actually the paid time off program that just launched in Chicago is a great example that our advocacy committee representatives were invited into the discussions, and is through our efforts that we were able to delay the implementation of that PTO policy. It was supposed to launch in January 1, and through efforts of our advocacy, it got pushed to July 1, so that people had time to catch their breath, learn more about it, understand what it meant, and then be able to kind of comply and figure out their plan. So we are always working on things like that. We are constantly trying to offer education. We have a lot of partner programs. Our largest annual conference had 12 sessions this year. And so educating our entrepreneurs about how to be better entrepreneurs is always something that we want to be doing. I never had any intention of becoming an entrepreneur. Like I said, I just wanted a job I liked to do. So I created something for myself. Lo and behold, I became an entrepreneur. And it is through this education that I started to be able to expand my horizons, to learn from other women, and to grow into a more meaningful business. And networking. I think the networking and the contacts and the connectivity have been so invaluable. You've got to show up, you've got to meet the people, you've got to really be able to interact with one another. But when you do, amazing things happen, great introductions, and just really a lot of fun. Growth. I don't know if how many people know it, but while women business owners make up about 50% of the small businesses in the country, only 4% make it over the $1 million revenue mark. Our goal is to continue to serve more growth-oriented businesses to get more women over that hump. We want more women to continue to expand their businesses, do the amazing work they are doing, and just become more successful. We employ more people. We invest more in the economy. It is an amazing thing. So we are constantly focused on programs and opportunities that will grow our businesses. And visibility. We have a lot of speaking opportunities. One of the programs I really have enjoyed is that we've been able to partner with the city of Chicago. They have their Business Affairs and Consumer Protection Division hosts weekly presentations and workshops for business owners in the city, really anywhere, but they focus on promoting them in the city. And we've been able to partner so that we have a monthly presenter that comes from our membership on topics that are valuable to all small businesses. So whether it be a panel, whether it be an opportunity of that nature, we just continue to spread the word and try to share these opportunities with our women business owners. So again, right, I mentioned we have a very large region. And so one of the things that we do is that we have several regional events to help bring people together from throughout all of our territory. The one that is coming up next is the Summer Social on July 31st. It will be hosted by BMO on the 17th floor of their new headquarters building. It has an amazing view of the city. It has a lovely patio. Hopefully this year it won't be so hot that we can't go out and enjoy the patio. But we are very excited about that. And so we would invite you, if you have not gotten a ticket yet, member or potential member, please consider joining us. We continue to grow that event annually. It was our first return to an in-person event following the pandemic, and it just continues to grow every year in such a beautiful way. We also will frequently have NAWBO talks where we can highlight our members and or a corporate partner, and we bring education and information to our members. We had a great kind of variation on the NAWBO talks in March when we hosted a group of women from Britain. And when I talk about how far we've come as a country, in talking to them, it was very interesting that they probably actually seem in England about 10 to 20 years almost behind where we are in the United States as business owners, or at least where we are in Chicago. And so it was really interesting and inspiring for them to meet us. It was really great for us to reflect on kind of how their women are trying to grow and become more international for some of their businesses. So those are some of the types of programs we do. The holiday party is another event. We sold out last year. We are continuing to try to expand and grow the space available for that. So we just bring more of our members together. Our members love to connect, and the Summer Social and the holiday party have really shown us that. Women Mean Business is our annual conference. It is a celebration of achievement within our organization. And as I mentioned, we grew it to 12 educational sessions plus a keynote by Alex Batdorf in 2024. Can't wait to see what 2025 brings. I know it's going to be amazing. And then we have our annual meeting and our installation. That is where we always induct our new officers and our new board members, and we get to talk about the all that we've accomplished as an organization together over the prior year and where we are headed for the next year. I always love to be able to hear the vision of the organization and get reconnected to how to support leadership. And so we just had that event recently. But because we live in the Chicagoland area and cover parts of Indiana and Wisconsin, we know it can be really difficult to get to all of the events on a regular basis. When I started in 2010, almost everything, I think actually everything, was in Chicago proper. And that's hard. That's hard. It takes a lot of time away for busy women business owners to get out of their business, go somewhere, have a 1-hour session, meeting, whatever, and then have all of that transportation and return back to their office. So what we found out, I do think that this organization really was able to shift faster and easier than a lot of others during the pandemic, because virtual made us more accessible to all of the pockets of women business owners around Chicagoland and into those 2 additional states. So we had this program, but many of these groups now meet virtually to make it easier for people to come together with more occasional socials. And so the Indiana group meets the second Wednesday of every month. The Chicago group is the third Tuesday of every month. The Northwest Connects launched last fall in Arlington Heights. They are the third Thursday of every month. The West South Connects is the fourth Thursday of every month in Downers Grove when they meet in person. And then Wisconsin is the fourth Tuesday of the month. Many of these groups will do the format of the Connects is that there's networking and meeting each other, and then there's a presentation and an educational component. We have found that keeping most of these virtual allows more participation, allows more engagement. But then, like I said, sometimes they'll decide maybe at the holidays to have their group have a coffee where they can come together in person, or a happy hour to mix it up a little bit. Most of these groups take off the month of July because the summer social becomes the region-wide event where we actually want all of the Connects and all of the members to come together into one social activity. But certainly, and as a member, you can go to one of these groups or you can go to all of these groups every single month for free. So I encourage you to take advantage of that to meet other women around the region. Depending on the topic, sometimes, I mean, you can have anywhere from 5 to 20 people in these meetings. So it's just a really great way to get to know other members. And when they do show up regularly in one group, you get to know people on a deeper level, which is always amazing. We have a few other membership programs that I think really elevate NAWBO, and our mastermind groups is something that many other chapters across the country. Forgot to mention, there's 62 chapters, including a virtual chapter. But we are proud to be the largest. I left that out too, super important. And we want to continue to grow. We want to break records, and we want the Chicagoland area to just continue to thrive and accelerate, because then we know we are serving our mission and serving business owners in our communities. But these mastermind groups, this is something that many other chapters look at and ask us about and reach out to learn more. It came into play before the pandemic, and they are the same. It's a small group of generally 5 to 7 people. They meet at the same time, same day of the month, every month, so that they can just do deep dives into the issues that plague them on a regular basis. We have one, I think it's only one group that's meeting in person now. Most of these groups are virtual, which again make them more accessible to our members, which is a beautiful thing. And then those groups will sometimes decide that they want to have an in-person meeting occasionally throughout the year, and they plan for that, which is great. The format is that, again, you kind of do a check-in. How's your month been? What did you accomplish? Did you do whatever you were supposed to do in the last month as your accountability item? And then every member of the group has a portion of the time to do a deep dive. So you can come with this group, and one person might have a marketing question. One person might have an employee issue. One person might want to talk about sales. One person might have a client or a contract issue. And so by the end of the meeting, with everybody sharing about everybody's, current hot topic, you walk away with so many ideas and so much information. And we have really found that when people are in the mastermind groups, their businesses just continue to thrive. And the longer a group stays together, just the deeper, it's like pulling back the layers of an onion. You get to know each other better. You get to really be able to support one another differently. And I know, sometimes, they're confidential circles. What stays in, is talked about in the group stays in the group. But it can be a little bit of tough love. They are kind, they are professional, and they are respectful of one another. But I know we had one woman who had a bad employee, and she just couldn't get over the fact that she didn't want to have to let that employee go, but she was not getting what she was paying for, and it was creating more work for her. So, through the encouragement of the group, she decided to let that person go. And once she did, she reached out to all of us. She's like, oh my gosh, I should have done it so much sooner. I'm so grateful that you all encouraged me to do that. So those are the types of things that come out of the mastermind groups and continue to help you on your difficult days and cheer you on in your, with all of your wins as well. I've mentioned several times today that we have workshops. I think we will be having a couple coming up this fall, one around certification and leveraging your certification. The diversity committee right now is also working on some workshops that will be a virtual program available later in August that will be unveiling soon. And then I think ADP is also going to be doing a workshop this fall. So anyway, lots of workshops always popping up. And then we have the executive level roundtable. This is our local program that we are trying to rebuild. This is a group for women in our region who have $2 million in revenue and higher. And there was a group that was very strong pre-COVID. During COVID, most of them sold their businesses. And therefore, this program got put on hold, but we are trying to find and kind of rebuild this group. So looking for people who meet that requirement and want to be in that group going forward. So it's like the circle a little bit at the national level, but it's a local program, which makes it a little bit easier for those women to connect more regularly. We have committees. We invite our members to get involved again. And I would really encourage you, you don't have to do all of these things. Today, I'm trying to give you a really great overview of the organization and all that is available. But just with those connects, right? 5 groups, they meet every month. That's like 50 some events a year, so you really do, pick and choose what's right for you, but the committees are a great way for people to get involved. It's a great way for you to be able to learn more, meet other members, and also make a difference for so many other women. The advocacy committee, I already mentioned how instrumental they've been in some of the work they've done, how they work locally, how they work at the state level. Sometimes it's just a matter of helping women get in touch with their own local politicians. We are always able to do that. The celebration of achievement and women mean business, they are the same event. We have a committee that is forming now to be able to plan the 2025 project. So anybody who wants to be part of that is certainly invited. Our diversity committee, it is NAWBO Chicago has always been incredibly diverse. And nationally, they are committed to becoming one of the most diverse organizations by 2025. And I just continue to love that people, again, it's a welcoming collective in Chicago. That's our goal. And so with it, diversity, we invite so many people in. We've learned so much about other cultures and continue to try to share information. And just come with curiosity, come with an open mind. And there's just a lot of opportunity. We just had some of our members join PFLAG during the Pride Parade in Chicago, to also be able to support parents of lesbian and gay children. So just lots of great diversity within the organization on many levels. And diversity is not just about, sexuality or ethnicity. For us, it's also about different sectors. NAWBO spans across all industries. It's service, it's manufacturing, it's retail, it's all of it. It is entry-level businesses. It is successful, businesses who are mature and continuing to grow. People, again, who then leverage into selling their businesses. So the diversity is both within the type of businesses and the type of business owners we serve, as much as it is around all of those other maybe more traditional diversity-focused initiatives. And our diversity committee really works hard on all that they do. And then membership. We would be nothing without all of the valuable members of this organization. Our goal is to reach our members. It is to invite our members in. It is to help our members get engaged. And it is to continue to spread the word about this amazing organization, because again, as it says here, we are better together. So really grateful for the membership committee. And if you have an interest in any of those, you can let us know, and we would be happy to connect you with the leader for that group. Other benefits from the program, as a member, there are, like I mentioned, various speaking opportunities. Some of these opportunities are available. We reserve them for our premier members. That membership level is only $100 more than the basic, and it's worth every penny, in my opinion. I might be biased, but I don't think so. Because that is when you get speaker opportunities. You are invited to be spotlighted and contribute to our monthly newsletter with some of your insights and your stories from your journey to share with other people. You also get the mastermind at the premier level. Those masterminds, we've heard from other women who've been part of other programs that they like our masterminds better because they are women only, and the price is free. It is a free offering to you as a premier member, where other places they can cost anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 or more. And the other thing we hear a lot of people is that because our masterminds are women only, they do feel a little bit safer and okay being more vulnerable, because it's not always our best strength to show up and be vulnerable with a group of people. So again, those are some benefits around that premier level. Social media, we have a private Facebook group. We invite you to connect with us there. You can share events you might have coming up in your business. You can share, if you need an employee of a certain type, if you have a question about a policy or an HR issue, it's just a great place to be able to let our members interact and share information more freely between each other. Access to capital. When I talk about doing everything wrong, I really bootstrapped it in the beginning, and I don't even know if microloans existed back then. What I have learned over the years in NAWBO is that different organizations, different banks, different programs offer different opportunities depending on the type of business you are and what your needs are. And I used to just think if one bank said no, why would any of them say yes? Why would you even ask? And that's not the reality. So we can help you get connected to good partners, trusted partners, right? That was the other thing. If they weren't a bank, well, can I trust them to take money from them? Are they going to prey on me? Are they going to, really like overcharge me? How do I know that it's trustworthy? And so we're here for that. We're here to support you, to foster introductions, to help you get what you need to grow your business, and connect whenever we can. Free workshops. I think I've mentioned workshops 4 or 5 times, so we're going to just skip that one right now and keep moving. But I love to talk about the discounts. So the discounts come through the national partnership. And these are programs and negotiations that National has on our behalf. And I've just selected 2 of them. If you go to the national website and you look at all the programs, there's travel perks, there's car perks, depending on what brand you buy, there's Dell perks. But office supplies and shipping. I feel like the majority of our members need these 2 services. So I choose to highlight these. And as I mentioned, I've been a member of NAWBO since 2010. For many years, I had access to an Office Depot discount. The card is sitting right here on my desk. And I was a rewards member at Office Depot. And so I thought I didn't need the NAWBO discount. Laura, who I mentioned is an incredible asset on my team, she took the time, just one time, to compare the cost of our ink cartridges for our color printer. You will see on the left, as a rewards member, what we paid for those ink cartridges, almost $800. And through the NAWBO perks, we were able to get those exact same cartridges for $500. So this is a real life example. We generally buy these ink cartridges. It used to be 3 or 4 times a year. Lately, we're going through them almost monthly. And you can see that that's almost a $300 difference. So if even at 5 times a year, 300 times 500 is $1,500 we save, which more than pays for my NAWBO membership just for those discounts. So I always encourage everyone to do the analysis, take a look, and look into that. I see a hand raised. I'm going to come back to questions at the end just to make sure I get to cover all the material. So please know that I see you and we'll be following up shortly.
Thank you.
UPS, you can get 25% off of a ground shipment or 45% off of next day or second day shipping. All you have to do, you do have to sign up through the NAWBO contact to be able to get that, even if you are already a member. But again, those savings over the course of a year, very instrumental. I like to reinforce the value of this organization. As I mentioned, I estimated the value of the mastermind very modestly at $2,000. Like I mentioned, it can be a savings of up to $5,000 or more for most people. The Connects, if you go to just one Connects every month, you are getting a $300 value of programming for free. The workshops, again, usually we have multiple over the course of a year. That's a $200 savings because there's a discount for our member rate versus our non-member rate. And then there's the NAWBO Talks, where again, there's cost savings. You get discounts on the member ticket price. The discounts, as I mentioned, mine's easily $1,500 or more, but I, again, conservatively showed it at $1,000. But it's the community and the network in this organization that continues to be priceless. Finding people to connect one another to, continuing to find people who have different nuggets of wisdom. I find that one of the things that I've loved when women share in this group, I might take this little piece of advice from this member, and I might get this golden nugget, from this other member. And the more that you just continue to kind of find the process and the system that works for you personally, it is because you learn from so many, and then you can make the combination that feels right and feels good to you for your business, your situation. And so I do continue to feel that this network and this community is just one of the best investments in the world. Just above that makes that total value a $3,500 value. And the cost of the Premier membership is $479.40. I don't even mention the advocacy there. So I do just like to continue to show people. Sometimes people think, we have people who think based on their associations that this fee is very nominal. We have women business owners who think that this feels kind of hefty based on where they're at in their business and what have you. So I really do like to focus on the value over the cost, because I think it more than pays for itself, no matter which part of the organization you choose to participate in. And so I will put this information up as well. It is available for you to be able to, contact with us, get more information and what have you, and reach out to us with any questions. I'm going to just reverse into the chat and double check now if I see where the questions are. We have a question about knowing where the data comes from on the statistic. About 4% of women-owned businesses. So there are many reports that come out annually that talk about the success of female entrepreneurs. And it is pretty readily available in all of them. Depending on where you look, sometimes it actually goes down as low as 2%. And Alex Batdorf, who spoke at our annual conference, actually had a whole campaign. Unfortunately, there are some expletives, but she was very devoted to this particular stat and helping to erase it. So it is in a lot of different places. Laura, thank you for dropping the summer social link. Hope to see you all there again.
Can I just ask a question, Melissa?
Can you give me 1 second? Courtney had her hand raised and
sorry.
That's okay, Lisa. I'll get to you in just 1 second. So Courtney, I see the discount question. Did you have an additional request around that?
No, that was the question and I didn't want to forget it, so I typed it in.
All right, perfect. So that is on the national website. I encourage you all to check out NAWBO.org. They have an affinity page for all of the partner programs that are available. So certainly you can connect there. Lisa.
So I am a member. I don't know what level I'm at. Is that something we would just go on the website and check out our level?
So Laura can help you with that. You can also log into your member profile. Laura would probably shoot me if you are a longstanding member and you have not activated your membership in the new platform. Please do that for sure. NAWBO National has made a huge migration over to a new platform. It's been long and painful, but long overdue. And so Laura has also been working very hard to get all of our members connected to their account on the new platform because it will be more valuable for you. There's a profile there you want to complete that allows you to show up better in the national directory, which they are continuing to still tweak. That's one of the last pieces to kind of get buttoned up. But once they do, then member to member, you can log in and see more details. So the general public can see some information about you, but then member to member, you can see a lot more detail and find people to connect with. So definitely do that. Thank you, Laura. Oh, Lindsay, thank you for dropping that little link in the chat about those partnerships. Appreciate that too. Any other questions? I'm going to stop sharing just to make sure I can see everybody.
Melissa, when and where is the annual conference?
So that annual conference has been taking place in Oak Brook, and we anticipate that it will definitely stay in that area. And usually it has been at the end of April. We are currently in the process of kind of finalizing that, but that usually works well. And I anticipate it will be similar in 2025. We're trying to work on the location now and the date so that we can make that official sooner than later. That committee will go begin their work in August so that we can start to get that jump started.
Thank you so much. By the way, you're an excellent speaker.
Thank you. It's easy when you believe in what you're talking about. And I just really do like to make sure that our members are finding ways to engage and what will benefit you. That's what we want to really help you connect with.
Thank you.
All right. If nobody has any additional questions, I would invite my board members to stay on. I know we are supposed to have a mini meeting following the orientation. If you think of something later today, again, Melissa@NAWBOchicago.org, Laura@NAWBOChicago.org or info@NAWBOChicago.org. We are happy to connect with you and make sure that you are finding what you need to leverage your membership to its full potential. Thank you for spending this time with us.